Hello and welcome to another edition of Health Matters, where we are committed to bringing you quality programming under a variety of topics to bring you information, and that information is power only when you act on it. So make sure you get your pens and papers ready, because I have a guest today who's going to give you lots of information, lots of education, so that you can make some good, healthy lifestyle choices and change your life starting today. Hi everybody, I know that you know I'm Anna Marie Sinatra from Sinatra Solutions, and Ava San Marco. Yes, this is still a crossover show with Health Focus, even though she couldn't be here. And before I introduce you to our guest, I want to thank our sponsors, Western New York Imaging Group, who has been committed to this program and to you, the community, by bringing you education so you have that information to make some really great choices in your time of need. And I want to thank Joe DeMarco from Wings Flights of Hope, where his pilots stay on call. You can call them any time of the day or night, and they are ready to give you a free flight, no matter what your age is, no matter where you live. It kind of matters where you're going, so make sure you give them a call and get that pilot list, get on their list, because they're there to help you for free in your time of need. And one of our newest sponsors, Matty Mattress from Mattress and More, where he is educating us on so many topics concerning our sleep, how to get better sleep, all about mattress choices, and whoever knew there could be so much information. Better catch all those programs and keep those pens and papers going so that you can get all that information and you don't get left behind. So everybody, without further ado, as I said, I'm so excited because I have an amazing chef sitting right next to me who, as soon as this camera turns on him, you're going to say, oh, where have I seen him before? Where have I seen him before? So hello, Chef Jim.
Anna Marie, what a pleasure it is to be here today. I have to tell you, it really is.
Thank you.
And I've never had an introduction like that before. Is my face as red as this apple right now?
We both might be a little red because of all these great lights in here. So thank you for coming on and being a guest today.
Yes, it's my pleasure. It really is. I've watched your show many, many times, and you're doing just such a great service to our community. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we've been able to have several conversations.
Yes.
And I get excited each time I talk to you because you've got some great tips about what is wellness and why should I even be worried about or wondering about. And one of the things I can't wait to get to, I'm just going to throw it out there, is all the confusing choices that there are.
I know.
But let's start from the beginning and tell me just a little bit about yourself.
Well, Anna Marie, I'll put it in a nutshell because I really want to get to the heart of this show. But I've always been interested in cooking. And I was living in California years ago and became very tuned into the health movement there. There were health food stores all over the place. Instead of, chicken wing pizzerias, there were health food stores. I'm just saying.
All the fast food, drive in and out.
And it really, truly is a whole different, as you well know, you've been there. So, and I came back to Buffalo. I got all fired up in the wellness movement, healthy cooking. I love challenges. So I took a lot of the dishes and the flavors that we grew up with and loved so much, and tried to recreate them. And I've done well with that, Anna Marie. And I've really done an awful lot. I've been maitre d'. I've worked in the back of the house, in the front of the house. I've trained. And finally, I have found my place in life. It's teaching people how to eat healthier, but keeping it tasting great. That's the key. If it doesn't taste good, your family's not going to eat it.
Well, I'm thinking that when you first said, and I love to cook, and I thought, you'll never go out of business because we all love to eat.
I've heard that before.
We're not going to mention any other networks or anything, but you were a regular. You were Chef Jim somewhere in Western New York, and you write columns for some of the newspapers.
I do.
So I think people are going to start noticing, going, hey, I saw him.
Got to picture me with that red hat on and the red outfit. And then you'll say, oh, okay, now it's all coming together. You're not used to seeing me with my hat off. That's, You know, people thought that the hat was full of hair, Anna Marie.
I'm not touching that one.
Anyway, yeah, it's been a long road that I've traveled down. But like I said, I finally have come to the place where I feel that it's not only a challenge, but I've taken my skill set that I've learned in life and I'm teaching people. And I know it's taken me a while to realize that not everybody is a cook. Not everyone likes to cook at all.
Right.
But unfortunately, if you don't like to cook, you still got to learn how to, at least, I have a good friend, she calls it assembling. She says, I don't cook, I assemble. And I thought, well, that's okay, as long as you're eating healthy.
I like that one.
Assembling, yes. Because we live in a world today, as you know, you can go to these markets and you can buy it, grab and go. It's all done. And beautiful salad bars. We have so much out there now. You're going to pay for it, but we can make the right choices and assemble a really great salad or meal when we get home.
Well, before we get into assembling, tell people about what is wellness and why should they want to learn more.
Thank you. That's a great question. And I just take for granted when I hear the word wellness, I just know what's going on. But then I watch commercials and I hear the word wellness, wellness, wellness. I see it on billboards and I'm thinking, are we becoming a little, not confused, are we becoming a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Just, we see it too much. It's overexposed.
Yes,
we're overexposed to the
good.
term, to the point where we're kind of going, all right, enough wellness. Okay, it's healthy. All right. And do you know that I actually had, and it was an aha moment for me. I had a relative of mine come up to me and say, so Jim, exactly what is wellness? And I thought, my gosh, she really doesn't know.
Wow.
And I thought, well, you know something? For those people that are watching today, and I'm sure a lot of people know what it is, but for those people watching today and are sitting there wondering, well, gee, now that you brought it up, what is it?
Yes, exactly.
Wellness is something that, Anna Marie, is self-defined. Let me say that again. It's self-defined. Self-defined means just that. For everybody in this city, as many people as we have, wellness is something different for everyone.
Every person.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And Anna Marie, it's not all about just eating healthy.
As I know as a coach, we talked about that in the green room about how important it is, our thinking processes, and that's where I come from, that aspect, to help people think well and live well through their perceptions and how they're living and receiving life happening.
And that's why it was so exciting to have met you in person a few months back, because I really felt like, wow, here's another great component to this big puzzle, and we linked, and I'm so happy because your expertise is something that is a little new for me. I'm learning things too. But getting back to the whole wellness issue.
Yes, because I want to learn some tips on how to eat better too.
Well, we'll get to that.
I'm hiding behind the desk here, but I need a couple. Tell me how I can eat on the run fast and some good food.
Anna Marie, there's so much out there. And if you stop at places like healthy sections of the supermarket, and there's a lot of them now, our big local markets have little sections that have all the health foods in them. So we don't have to run through the store and say, oh, I wonder if this is healthy, or believe the advertiser on TV saying, no, it's a healthy No, it's in the healthy section because it fits under certain criteria. So if you need something, and I encourage people to do this, especially someone like you, you're just on the go all the time, to really have something in your purse, in your glove compartment, in your car, just an energy bar or something. And I'm not saying this is a meal, Anne Marie, but I'm telling you, it will help keep that metabolism steady. You're not going to get so hungry that you're going to think, I'm going to pull through a drive-through
and eat that stuff, and I do that.
We
so
all
you're
do
telling
it.
on me now.
No, we all
that
do
is
it.
So, it is
we all do it.
And that's what you talked about in some of the things that we talked about earlier, keeping your body burning.
Yes.
So
well, that is key. Imagine having a big campfire, and it took you a long time to start it with little twigs, and you're blowing, you're fanning. Now it's up and roaring. Okay, it's burning really well. Got a lot of fuel in there. Well, Anna Marie, if you let that fire die out, what are you going to have to do? you're gonna have to rub the sticks together or start
and
all
if you
over
throw
again.
some really big logs on it, you're going to kill that fire too. Oh, you're giving me a very good visual.
Well, bingo. If you throw another log on it, or keep feeding the fire, it's going to keep burning. It's going to burn for you.
But if you're already starving and you throw the big,
because I think
how just the other day I didn't plan the best way I can, and I didn't eat lunch until 2.
Oh,
I had dinner at 10 o'clock at night, not a piece of food between 2 and 10.
Oh, that's breakfast is absolute key. It's key. And I know there are going to be people out there, and I'm one of them, who gets up and says, "Oh, I'll just have a cup of coffee. I'm fine for a couple hours." I know you're out there. I can hear you. I can hear you thinking, how does he know what I'm thinking? But I know what you're thinking.
I feel like you keep telling on me.
No, Anna Marie, come on. We're all here for a good reason.
Okay.
Have a cup of coffee. Have a Snickers bar once in a while. Don't beat yourself up. Just don't make a meal out of it. Okay. So anyway, so the thing is to fuel your body. You can't run your car on empty. You wouldn't think of it. Well, your car wouldn't have it. It just wouldn't go. Exactly. So you need to fuel your body. Get up in the morning. And if you're not a breakfast person, do yourself a favor, pour a little, and there's so many great products out there now. And I'm not endorsing any, but like the juice, vegetable juice, and fruit juice concentrates, or not concentrates.
And just drink that down before you drink your coffee.
Well, put that in a blender and throw a banana in it, maybe a little flaxseed or something. Blend it on up and drink it, or a little yogurt.
Before the coffee?
Yeah, really,
okay.
yeah. And I'll tell you why, because if you do what I say and just try this, put the coffee down for an hour and try this other method, and if you got protein and calcium and all the things that are going to really get your body moving, you're going to not have that urge for coffee. I still like a cup of coffee in the morning, but you won't have that urge because your body is getting fed with other things. Hey, I found something out the other day. I talked to a research doctor. This is so exciting. This isn't something we planned here for the show, but you sparked my... When I get up in the morning, she said she cleans out her liver. I said, okay, tell me about that. She says, well, I put a little hot water, some lemon juice. You know about this. And she puts a few drops of hot sauce in hers.
Yeah. But I don't do that one. Every morning, that's why I'm really listening keenly, because every single morning I wake up, I drink 2 tall glasses of room temperature water. And I'll change what I do. Sometimes it's a little lemon juice or lemon, or that apple cider vinegar is supposed to be really key for good health.
Yes. I'm telling you, there are things out there. Well, let me just tell you,
she
told me to do this. I'm not giving up my coffee, Anna Marie.
Okay.
We'll go out for coffee.
Just wanted to put it in there.
No. But I started trying that, and my son started trying it, and he said, "Dad, I don't know what it is." He says, and he's not a coffee drinker. He says, "But I feel like, not jittery, but I feel like yes." And I thought, isn't this cool? It actually gets your blood pumping.
Yep.
I'm telling you, and again, any advice that you hear on this show, please ask your doctor about, especially if you have issues and if you're taking medication. Absolutely.
But we're not talking about anything but food and nutrition and drinking water in the morning. Drinking water all the time is very important.
But even still, Anna Marie, there are certain things in the natural world that do conflict. Some people can't have grapefruit with some of the medication they're taking, for instance.
Very smart, yeah.
So even if it's natural and it's food, please check with your doctor.
Right.
But I'm sure he's going to let this one fly. He'll think you're crazy when you tell him. Or maybe he's doing the same thing.
Well, I'll tell you, my doctor endorsed the one thing that I do as well for your cholesterol is that, I didn't say this too, but if you get too close to me, you'll smell it. In the morning, I chop up a clove of garlic, put that on a teaspoon, shove it in my mouth, and then drink the water down. And that is the best way to lower your cholesterol and clean your system out.
That's why we get along so well. We both smell like garlic. All right.
It's a good thing.
It's a great thing. It really is. I have a friend that dated a guy that he hated garlic. And she said, "Oh my God, I can't eat garlic before I go out with him." Blah, 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 blah. And I said, "Look, you got to let that guy go.
Yeah.
Let him go, will you? Garlic is more important."
Absolutely.
Spoken like a true Italian, Anna Marie.
So tell me, let's talk about who do I trust with all these mixed messages? I love when you said that earlier. That's why I made sure I wrote that down.
Because my heart aches. I want to hop through the TV sometimes when I see infomercials and I watch these crazy crazy people, and I mean really, it's laughable. They have these. They look crazy, and they're talking about cleansing your whole body out, colon cleansing, and washing it out. And I'm thinking, well, this is like a colonoscopy prep. I don't think I want to be doing that once a week. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody. I hope you're not eating dinner right now. But anyway, God made this wonderful planet with all these great fruits and vegetables on it, not to be rolled in caramel, dipped in chocolate, rolled in peanuts, and eaten. You eat the apple. The skin is natural fiber. The inside has got so much going on. You're not going to have to worry about buying something off of an infomercial. Just eat the way food was intended to be eaten, and you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. So getting back to your question, or your comment rather, is that there are a lot of advertisers out there telling you how wonderful their product is. What a smart choice this is, to drink this. Well, guess what? Flip the ingredient label around on some of these smart choice things, and if you can pronounce 5 of those first ingredients, I'll give you $100.
Uh-oh, he said it.
I said it, and I mean it.
They might go and practice it now. But I was thinking of that when you talked about the energy bars. One of the reasons why I go to a health food store and get particular ones, but even the ones that I get, I can't pronounce a lot of the stuff on there. Because energy bars, I've noticed, here it goes to another thing, is I can get very nauseated after eating an energy bar.
Yeah, be careful, be careful. You're right. You've got to get something with dried fruit in it, lots of nuts, the good stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need, and again, my heart aches when I see these commercials for people, and even Joan Rivers is doing the commercial for the energy shots. Where did that all come from? That's a horrible thing.
I think we're such a fast-paced society, and we're trying to go faster and faster and faster and faster.
No.
Yeah, we really have to stop.
No, we need to take a page from the Europeans. They're going slower and slower.
Slower, yeah.
And they live long. They eat in moderation. They're in great shape. They walk a lot up and down hills.
Drink a lot of
wine. Drink a little wine, Anna Marie, not a lot of wine.
No, it's a lot of wine. I've been to Italy. Have you been to Italy?
I haven't.
They drink a lot of wine.
All right, okay.
As a matter of fact, when I was in business with my dad, way back when I was just reminiscing because it was the anniversary of his death not too long ago. And I just miss him so much. But I was thinking when I was working with him in our family business, we had to get everything done by a certain time because right at lunchtime, like maybe like the way we would look is like from 1 until 3, there's no work. They do not answer phones. They don't do anything. They just shut everything down. They have a beautiful lunch. They take a nap. They take a walk. They relax. Probably drink a little wine,
Anna
and
Marie,
then go back to work.
Let's start a petition, okay? We'll start a petition. We'll get it going all over the city, and before you know it, we'll all be kicking back. I like that. I think it sounds awesome.
A 3-hour lunch work. Boy, I could hear some of my clients.
The bistros are going to love it.
Yeah, they will. But I could hear all my business clients going, we got her coaching our staff. We better rethink this one. I'm just saying what Europe does.
I know. But be careful what the advertisers tell you.
Yeah.
Listen to dietitians. Listen to people that don't have a hidden agenda. Somebody who's not making money off of all this garbage product that's out there. And I don't need to tell you, there are whipped toppings. Okay, I got to be very careful. I don't want to.
Yeah, we don't want to call out anybody.
No, but there are a lot of makers that are making it now. It's hydrogenated oil. What they're taking is water. They're taking oil and whipping it so that it becomes foamy. But that doesn't taste too good, Anna Marie. So they have to put vanilla in it. Artificial vanilla is a byproduct of the paper pulp industry. It's a byproduct.
Oh my goodness.
Fake vanilla. When they say artificial vanilla, be careful of the word artificial. Artificial, what does an artificial strawberry look like, Anna Marie?
Artificial sweeteners, artificial everything.
Yeah.
Do you know that's what I, with my coffee, and here's a little tip, great tip for you right now, because I never used to like to drink coffee. And just several years ago, I mean, who knew that we would have such a coffee industry?
Oh my gosh.
And people would pay so much money for one
exploded.
cup of coffee.
It's just exploded.
So I do get cream because I like the cream in it, but I sweeten my coffee with stevia. And I buy natural, 100% organic, real vanilla and almond
Oh my gosh,
almond extract.
awesome.
and they're a little bit more expensive, but if you go to some of these other off stores, you can get them much less expensive. And just a couple little drops and a couple little stevia.
That's all you need. Yeah, and if people are wondering what this stevia product is, and there's other products like it, but stevia actually is an herb. That's the name of an herb. And the herb, they were lucky enough to get that name for their product, but there are other products like it. It's made from the stevia leaf, spelled like the guy's name, stevia. And it is all natural, and it's sweeter than sugar, so you only need a very little bit.
Oh, they give you this teeny little thing inside there, and you put
just
a
teeny little bit, and you're good to go.
But it's like, where were we so many years ago when we introduced, again, we're not going to say any names, but all those artificial sweeteners that now we know are killing us. When we have stevia leaf. And stevia is not the product. We're talking about the stevia leaf.
Just the herb leaf itself. But there are products, and again, won't mention any names. Do your research, you'll find it. But there are products, there are sweeteners out there that they have found, one of them in particular, actually builds up in your body. Some of it actually collects and doesn't leave in your brain.
Oh my goodness.
And this is one of the artificial sweeteners, a big popular one. Do some research, find out what you're ingesting. You know, you're worth it. And by the way, speaking of you're worth it, if people are out there saying, gee, I priced that stevia, it's kind of expensive. Well, Anna Marie, I always tell people, you are worth it.
Absolutely.
You are worth it.
Because when you look and see what you're spending your money on, everybody spends their money somewhere. We make the choice to do. And then there's that list. I love that list. Maybe you know it offhand, the Dirty Dozen. That tell you try to buy these certain foods organic. And the way I try to remember it is, and I know it can get a little pricey too, but now with them coming in all the stores, the prices really are coming down.
In volume, things are now coming down.
But I know apples are definitely one of them. Anything with a soft skin. Like you don't have to worry about it if it's bananas or pineapples.
All your berries and
berries, big time.